Hey, everyone. I'm Alex, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss a lesson. Today's video is all about helping you speak more naturally in American English, just like a native speaker. Whether you're preparing for a trip to the US, working with American colleagues, or just trying to sound more fluent, this lesson will give you the tools you need to improve your listening and speaking skills, learn authentic American expressions, and master the rhythm and pronunciation that makes English sound smooth and natural. We'll start with casual speech patterns from the moment you wake up, all the way through daily conversations, storytelling, and even how to handle phone calls and small talk like a pro. So get ready to practice along, repeat after me, and most importantly, have fun while learning. Let's start with something we all do, our morning routine. But instead of textbook English, we're going to focus on how real people speak every day. Native speakers often use shortened forms, skip words, and link sounds together to make speech sound smooth and natural. Let's look at a few common examples. Phrase 1. I gotta get up. Instead of saying, I have to get up, native speakers say gotta, which is short for got to. Phrase 2. You want some coffee? Notice there's no do at the beginning. In casual conversation, questions like this are shortened, especially when context makes the meaning clear. Now, let's practice linking words and using a relaxed tone. Repeat after me. I gotta get up. You want some coffee? Try to mimic the rhythm and tone. It might feel strange at first, but that's exactly how native speakers talk. In the next section, we'll take a look at greetings you'll hear every day and how to respond naturally. When you're speaking English in real life, you'll notice that greetings are often short and friendly. They're not always formal or complete sentences. Let's look at a few common ones you'll hear every day. Greeting 1. What's up? This is a very common way to say hello in American English. It literally means what's happening, but it's used more like a casual greeting. Response. Not much. That's the most common reply. You can also say same old or nothing much. Greeting 2. How's it going? Again, a casual greeting. You don't need to give a long answer. Response. Good, or all right, or even same as usual. Now, let's put them into a short dialogue so you can hear how they flow. Hey, what's up? Not much. How about you? Same old. Try repeating that with me. Pay attention to the tone. It should be friendly and relaxed, not stiff. These greetings are super useful for everyday conversations, whether you're meeting a friend, starting a class, or just passing someone in the hallway. Next, we'll dive into contractions and reduced forms, which are key to sounding more natural when you speak. In everyday American English, native speakers rarely use full verb forms. Instead, they rely heavily on contractions and reduced speech to keep conversations smooth and natural. So, why do we use contractions? Simple. They make speech faster, easier, and more casual. Let's look at some common ones. I am becomes I'm. You are becomes your. They are becomes their. Here's an example in a sentence. Full form. She is going to work tomorrow. Contracted form. She's going to work tomorrow. You'll hear this kind of speech everywhere, in movies, on podcasts, and in daily conversation. Now, let's practice blending sounds and shortening phrases. Repeat after me. She's going. They're coming. I'm ready. Try saying them again a bit faster, keeping the relaxed tone. Contractions are one of the first steps towards sounding more like a native speaker. In the next part, we'll see how this applies in real-life situations, like ordering at a café. One of the most common places you'll use casual English is at a coffee shop or café. Knowing how to order confidently and naturally can make a big difference in how fluent you sound. Let's compare two ways to ask for something. Formal version. May I have a medium latte, please? Casual version. Can I get a medium latte? Native speakers almost always say, "Can I get," when ordering food or drinks. It's not just about grammar. It's about sounding like someone who belongs in that environment. Other examples include, "I'll take a croissant too." "Is that all?" "That'll be $6.20. Let's try a short exchange together. Repeat after me. Can I get a medium latte? Sure thing. Thanks, I'm in a rush today. Try practicing this at home or even while out at a cafe. The more you use these phrases, the more natural they'll feel. Next, we'll dive into storytelling and how native speakers bring their stories to life with rhythm and expression. When native speakers tell stories, they don't just say what happened. They bring the moment to life with expressions that show emotion and energy. One of the most common phrases you'll hear is, "I was like." This is used to describe what someone said or thought in a specific situation, not always literally. It's more about showing how you reacted in the moment. For example, "He told me the test was canceled, and I was like, seriously?" "She said she saw my dog at the park, and I was like, no way." Another popular structure is, "He said, and I was like." This helps build rhythm and excitement in your storytelling. Let's try one together. Repeat after me. "I was like, what do you mean he quit his job?" "She said something and I was like, wait, really?" Try using this in your own stories. It makes your speech sound more expressive and natural. In the next part, we'll focus on a unique American pronunciation feature, the flap T sound. If you've ever noticed that some Americans pronounce the letter T like a soft D, you're hearing what's called the flap T sound. This happens when the letter T comes between two vowels, especially when the second vowel is unstressed. Here are a few examples. Butter, a water.
City.
Better. It's not a hard T sound like at the beginning of a word. Instead, it's softer, almost like a quick D. Let's practice a few words together. Repeat after me slowly. Butter, water.
City.
Better. Now try them again a bit faster, keeping that soft middle sound. Let's put it into full sentences. I need some water. She eats butter every morning. We visited the city last weekend. The flap T is very common in American English, so getting comfortable with it will help both your listening and speaking skills. Next, we'll move on to a short conversation, all about lunch plans. Let's take what we've learned so far and put it into a short, real-life conversation. This one is about making lunch plans, something you might hear at work or school. Here's the dialogue. I'm running late. Can you grab me a table?
No worries.
I'll save you a seat. This kind of exchange happens all the time. It's quick, friendly, and uses natural reductions and contractions. Let's break down a few key phrases. I'm running late. This means you're not going to arrive on time. Can you grab me a table? Instead of saying, could you please reserve a table for me, native speakers say it more casually. No worries. A common way to respond when someone asks for a favor or is apologizing. Now, let's practice together. Repeat after me. I'm running late. Can you grab me a table?
No worries.
I'll save you a seat. Try saying them again a bit faster, keeping that natural rhythm. These small conversations help build confidence and fluency. In the next part, we'll look at another important feature of spoken English, filler words. Filler words like, you know, I mean, and so are very common in everyday speech. Native speakers use them often, but there's a right way and a wrong way to use them. When used correctly, filler words can help with flow and make your speech sound more natural. But if overused, they can make your speech seem hesitant or unconfident. Let's look at a few examples. So, what do you think? It was really surprising. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. We went out and, just had fun. These words help connect thoughts and give you time to think while speaking. The key is to use them sparingly and with purpose. Let's try using them in a sentence. Repeat after me. So, how was your weekend? I mean, it was okay. You know what I'm saying? She was like, no way. As you get more comfortable speaking, you'll start using these naturally without forcing them. Next, we'll dive into expressive storytelling and how to make your stories even more engaging. When native speakers tell stories, they don't just say what happened, they show how it felt. That's what makes their stories engaging and easy to follow. One way to do this is by using short, emotional expressions that add energy to your speech. Here are some common ones. I couldn't believe it. No way. Seriously? You're kidding. That was wild. These phrases help you react in real time and make your story more vivid. Let me tell you a quick story using these expressions. So, I walk into the office and my boss says, "Hey, guess what? You're promoted." And I'm like, seriously? No way. I couldn't believe it. Now try telling your own short story out loud using similar expressions. It could be something funny, surprising, or even frustrating. Just remember to add some feeling to your voice. Using these kinds of reactions will make your English sound more expressive and natural. In the next part, we'll look at how native speakers talk about their daily routines and the casual phrases they use most often. Let's take a look at how native speakers describe their daily routines, not with formal grammar, but with simple, conversational phrases. Here are a few examples. Let's get this day started. I gotta hurry, or I'll miss the bus. I stayed up binge-watching Netflix again. Notice how these sentences are short, relaxed, and full of contractions and slang. That's exactly how people really speak. Let's put them together in a short sample routine. Okay, I gotta get up. Let's get this day started.
I need coffee. Bad.
I gotta hurry, or I'll miss the bus again. Ugh, I stayed up binge-watching last night. Big mistake. Try repeating that after me, then create your own version based on your morning routine. The more you practice speaking in full sentences, even short ones, the more natural your spoken English will become. Next, we'll move on to sharing opinions and feelings and how to do it in a friendly, native-sounding way. When you're speaking English in real life, it's important to express how you feel, whether you're excited, unsure, or completely disagreeing. Native speakers often soften their opinions to keep the conversation friendly.
For example,
instead of saying that's wrong, they might say, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I agree. On the other hand, when someone is really excited, they might use phrases like, I'm stoked. I can't wait. That sounds awesome. Let's look at a short example between two people talking about weekend plans. Speaker A: I'm going hiking with some friends. Speaker B: sounds fun. I don't know about that though. I'm more of a stay-home kind of person. Speaker A: no way. You should totally come. Practicing these kinds of exchanges helps you become more confident in casual conversations. It also makes your speech sound more natural and expressive. Next, we'll explore connected speech and how native speakers link sounds together when they talk fast. In fast, natural English, words often blend together. This is called connected speech, and it's one of the biggest challenges for language learners. For example, did you eat becomes did eat. What are you doing becomes whatcha doing. These changes happen because native speakers want to speak smoothly and quickly. Here's how it works. When a word ends in a consonant and the next word begins with a vowel, the sounds often connect. That makes the phrase easier to say as one unit. Try repeating this phrase slowly. What are you doing tonight? Whatcha doing tonight? Now try it a bit faster, keeping the flow natural. Let's practice with a short connected speech story. You know how sometimes you wake up late and then you realize you forgot to set your alarm? Yeah, that happened to me yesterday. I was like, oh no, I gotta run. Try reading that out loud, blending the words where possible. Mastering connected speech will help you both understand and be understood more clearly in real-life conversations. Next, we'll take a closer look at intonation and word stress and how they change the meaning of what you're saying. When speaking English, the way you say something can change its meaning completely. This is where intonation and word stress come in. Intonation refers to the rise and fall of your voice when speaking. In English, we use rising intonation for questions and falling intonation for statements. For example, are you coming? Rising tone. I'm not sure yet. Falling tone. Word stress means emphasizing certain words in a sentence, usually nouns, main verbs, and adjectives. The words you stress can change what you're trying to say. Take this sentence. I didn't say he stole the money. Now watch how the meaning changes with different stress. I didn't say he stole the money. Someone else did. I didn't say he stole the money, but maybe I implied it. I didn't say he stole the money. Maybe someone else did it. I didn't say he stole the money. Maybe he borrowed it. I didn't say he stole the money. Maybe he stole something else. Let's practice with a short restaurant scene. Customer: I think I'll have the chicken sandwich. Server: great choice. Now try saying those lines again, changing which word you emphasize. You'll notice how the tone and intention shift slightly each time. Practicing intonation and word stress will help you sound more natural and be better understood in everyday conversation. Now, let's look at how native speakers talk during casual phone calls. Phone conversations in English are often very relaxed. People skip full sentences and use short expressions that might seem informal or even incomplete, but they still make perfect sense in context. Here's a common exchange. Hey, what's up? Nothing much. Just chilling.
Cool.
You doing anything tonight? Not really. Why? Wanna grab dinner? Sure, hit me up around 6. Let's break down some key phrases. What's up? A casual greeting. Just chilling means relaxing or not doing much. Hit me up means to call or text someone later. Wanna grab dinner? Short for, do you want to grab dinner? Try practicing this conversation out loud. Pay attention to the rhythm and tone. It should feel easy and conversational. Using these kinds of phrases will help you sound more like a native speaker when talking on the phone or texting. Next, we'll explore the benefits of listening and shadowing, two powerful techniques to improve your spoken English naturally. One of the most effective ways to improve your spoken English is by listening to native speakers regularly. When you listen to podcasts, watch movies, or follow YouTube videos, you're not just absorbing vocabulary, you're also learning natural rhythm, pronunciation, and intonation. A powerful technique to take this one step further is called shadowing. Shadowing means repeating what a speaker says at the same time as they say it, or just a second behind. It helps train your brain and mouth to produce sounds the way native speakers do. Here's how to do it. 1. Choose a short audio clip, maybe from a TV show, a YouTube video, or a podcast. 2. Listen carefully and repeat each sentence out loud. 3. Try to match the speaker's tone, speed, and expression. 4. Repeat the process several times until it feels more natural. This kind of practice builds confidence, improves fluency, and helps you speak more smoothly over time. So pick something you enjoy, a favorite show, a TED Talk, or even this video, and start shadowing today. Next, we'll look at how to use polite language in everyday situations, starting with a common scenario, asking for help in a bookstore. Even when speaking casually, knowing how to be polite in English is essential, especially when asking for help or interacting with strangers. Let's imagine a simple scene in a bookstore. Customer: "Excuse me, can I help you find something?" Employee: "Yes, actually. Do you have any books on American idioms?" Customer: "Sure, let me show you." Employee: "Thanks a lot." Customer: "No problem at all." This exchange is friendly, helpful, and uses polite language naturally. Some key phrases to remember. Can I help you find something? A great way to offer assistance. Thanks a lot / no problem. Common ways to show appreciation. Let me check for you. Useful if you're not sure about something. Politeness doesn't mean being overly formal. It's about showing respect and kindness through your words. Try practicing these kinds of exchanges in different settings, like a coffee shop, library, or clothing store. In the next part, we'll go back to pronunciation and focus again on that tricky flap T sound. Let's take another look at the flap T, a very common sound in American English that can be tricky for language learners. As a quick reminder, the flap T happens when the letter T appears between two vowels, especially when the second vowel is unstressed. In these cases, native speakers often pronounce it like a soft D sound. Here are some more examples. Can I get a cup of water? Better luck next time. I need to meet you at the hotel. Try repeating each phrase after me slowly, then increase your speed while keeping that soft middle sound. Let's also put it into a short conversation. Hey, can I get a coffee and a muffin? Sure thing. That'll be $5.75. Here's a 10. Thanks, your change is right here. Now try reading that exchange out loud, paying close attention to where the flap T appears. The more you listen for this sound in real conversations and practice using it yourself, the more natural it will feel. Next, we'll focus on how to agree and disagree politely, an essential skill for everyday English. In daily conversations, knowing how to respond when someone shares an opinion is crucial. Native speakers often use short, informal phrases to keep the flow natural and friendly. Let's start with expressions used to agree. Totally. Exactly. Same here. For sure. That's so true. Now, for disagreeing politely, native speakers usually soften their response to avoid sounding too direct. I'm not sure I agree. I see your point, but, I don't think so. Not really. I guess I just see it differently. Let's try a short dialogue practicing both. I think that movie was overrated. Totally. I didn't get the hype at all. Another example. This restaurant has the best pizza ever. I guess I just don't see it. I've had better. These responses help keep conversations smooth and respectful. Try using them in your own discussions, whether online, at work, or with friends. In the next part, we'll continue building expressive speaking skills by looking at how to tell short stories with a natural American style. Telling short stories is one of the best ways to practice spoken English, especially when you use natural expressions that native speakers use every day. Let's look at a quick example. I woke up late this morning. My alarm didn't go off, and I panicked. I threw on some clothes, grabbed my bag, and ran out the door. By the time I got to work, I was out of breath. My boss looked at me and said, "Rough morning." And I was like, "Yeah, you could say that." This kind of storytelling uses phrases like, "I threw on some clothes," means dressing quickly without much thought. "I panicked," shows emotion. You could say that, a common way to agree in a light or sarcastic tone. I was like, used to reenact what you said or felt in the moment. Let's try another short story together. Read it out loud and match the rhythm. I went grocery shopping yesterday and forgot my list. I wandered around for 20 minutes trying to remember what I needed. In the end, I just bought cereal and milk. Oh well, at least dinner was easy. Try telling your own short story using these kinds of phrases. It can be about anything, a funny mistake, a busy day, or even something boring. The key is to keep it conversational. Next, we'll move on to small talk and how to start and keep casual conversations going. Small talk is a valuable skill in any language. It helps you connect with people, build relationships, and feel more confident in everyday situations. In English, small talk often includes simple topics like the weather, a weekend plans, a work, hobbies. Let's look at a few common phrases. How's it going? Not too bad. You can't complain. Same as always. Tell me about it. Here's a sample conversation. How's it going? Pretty good. Just relaxing this weekend.
Nice.
Do anything fun? Not really. Watched a few movies and caught up on sleep. These kinds of exchanges happen all the time, at work, in class, or even while waiting in line. The key to good small talk is being friendly and showing interest. You don't need to say much. Just keep the conversation flowing naturally. Try practicing these lines with a friend or by yourself. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become. Next, we'll take a closer look at networking and how to introduce yourself confidently in professional or social settings. When meeting someone new, whether at a job event, a social gathering, or even online, knowing how to introduce yourself confidently is essential. Native speakers often keep introductions short, friendly, and open-ended to encourage further conversation. Here's a simple example.
Im Sara.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. So, what do you do? I work in marketing. How about you? This kind of exchange helps build a connection and opens the door for deeper conversation. Some useful phrases to remember. Nice to meet you. What do you do? I'm originally from. I've been working in for. Let's try another version.
Hey, I'm Mike.
Haven't seen you around before. No, this is my first time here. I just started a new job. Oh, congrats. What company are you with? Being able to introduce yourself clearly and ask follow-up questions makes a big difference in both personal and professional settings. Try practicing these kinds of introductions out loud, either by yourself or with a friend. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel. Next, we'll explore how tone and pitch affect meaning in English and how to use them to sound more expressive. In spoken English, how you say something can be just as important as what you say. Native speakers use tone and pitch changes to express different emotions like surprise, certainty, or question. A rising tone at the end of a sentence usually means it's a question. Are you coming to the party tonight? A falling tone suggests a statement or finality. I think I'm going to stay home. Let's practice with a short phone conversation. Hey, are you coming to the party tonight? Maybe. Is it at Jake's place again? Yeah, same spot.
Cool.
Are you bringing anything? Notice how the tone rises for questions and falls for confirmations. That subtle shift makes your speech more natural and easier to understand. Now try reading those lines out loud, matching the correct tone for each sentence. Paying attention to tone and pitch will help you sound more fluent and give your speech more life. In the next part, we'll go back to contractions, one of the most common features of casual English. Contractions are one of the most natural features of spoken English. Native speakers use them constantly to keep conversations smooth and casual. Here are some of the most common ones. I'm equals I am. You're equals you are. They're equals they are. It's equals it is. You'll hear these in nearly every conversation, from casual chats with friends to interviews and even news broadcasts. Let's look at a few examples in full sentences. I'm just chilling this weekend. They're going out for dinner later. It's such a nice day outside. You're definitely coming, right? These contractions help reduce the number of syllables you speak, making your English sound more fluid and native-like. Try repeating these phrases out loud. I'm thinking of going out. You're always welcome here. They're not sure what time to meet. It's probably going to rain. The more you practice using contractions naturally, the more comfortable they will feel in your own speech. Next, we'll explore idioms, those colorful expressions that don't always mean what they say. Idioms are phrases that have a meaning different from the literal definition of the words. They're widely used in American English and give your speech a more native flavor. Let's look at a few common ones. Break the ice. This means to start a conversation in a social setting, especially when people are meeting for the first time. Example. He told a joke to break the ice during the meeting. Hit the books. This means to study hard or focus on schoolwork. Example. I can't go out tonight. I've got to hit the books. Under the weather. This means feeling sick or not well. Example. She stayed home today because she was feeling under the weather. Now, let's put them into a short story. I went to a new group event last night. Everyone was a bit quiet at first, so I decided to break the ice by asking about their favorite travel destinations. We talked for hours. But now I think I caught something. I woke up feeling completely under the weather. Guess I'll have to hit the books later. Try telling your own short story using these idioms. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become in your daily English. In the next part, we'll focus on informal conversations and how rhythm plays a big role in sounding like a native speaker. In real-life English, conversations are often short, relaxed, and full of rhythm. Native speakers don't speak word by word. They group words together and use natural pauses to make their speech flow smoothly. Let's look at a quick example between two friends talking about their weekend plans. What did you do this weekend? Not much. Just stayed in and watched Netflix. Same here. I went hiking Friday, but that was it.
Nice.
Did you go alone? No, with my sister. We had a good time. Notice how the conversation moves quickly and uses contractions like what'd for what did and short responses like not much. This kind of exchange is very common in casual English. It's not about using perfect grammar. It's about being understood and keeping the conversation flowing naturally. Try practicing this dialogue out loud. Pay attention to the rhythm and how the words connect together. The more you listen to native speakers and mimic their style, the easier it will be to join in conversations with confidence. Next, we'll take a closer look at how native speakers link sounds together, especially when speaking quickly. When native speakers talk fast, words often blend together. This is called connected speech, and it plays a big role in sounding fluent and natural. Here are some common examples. What you doing becomes whatcha doing. Did you eat becomes did eat. Going to go becomes gonna go. These changes happen because our brains and mouths try to make speech as smooth and efficient as possible. Let's practice a few phrases. What are you doing tonight? Whatcha doing tonight? Did you see that movie? Did you see that movie? I'm going to call him later. I'm going to call him later. Now, let's put it into a short story. I called my friend yesterday and asked if she wanted to hang out. She said yeah, so we met up at the café around 3. We talked for hours. It was great. Try reading that out loud, blending the words where possible. Focus on making the sentence flow smoothly instead of pronouncing every word clearly. Practicing connected speech will help you both understand and be understood more easily in real-life conversations. In the next part, we'll focus on a typical Monday morning routine and how to describe it in natural, conversational English. Let's take a look at how native speakers talk about their morning routines, especially on Mondays, when motivation might be low but the coffee is strong. Here are some common phrases. I gotta wake up early. I'm not really a morning person. Let's do this. Native speakers often use casual expressions like gotta instead of have to, and they keep sentences short and relaxed. Let's put it all together into a quick example. I gotta wake up early today. Ugh, I'm not really a morning person. My alarm didn't even go off. I barely had time to brush my teeth before heading out. But whatever, let's do this. Try reading that out loud with a natural rhythm. You can even act it out in front of a mirror to help you remember the phrases more easily. Using these kinds of expressions will make your spoken English sound more like what you hear in real life. Next, we'll focus on one of the most important speaking situations, the job interview. In a job interview, it's important to sound both confident and conversational. Native speakers usually avoid overly formal language unless the setting is very professional. Let's practice a few common questions and responses. Question: tell me about yourself. Sample response: I'm originally from Chicago, and I've been working in marketing for about 5 years. I enjoy working in fast-paced environments and helping teams reach their goals. Question: why do you want to work here? Sample response: I really like what your company stands for, especially the focus on innovation and teamwork. I think I'd be a great fit for your team. Some other key phrases to remember. I'm excited about this opportunity. I believe my experience and makes me a strong candidate. I'm looking for a place where I can grow and contribute. Try practicing these answers out loud. Record yourself if possible, and listen back to improve clarity and tone. The more you practice, the more comfortable and confident you'll feel during real-life interviews. In the next part, we'll continue building expressive skills by exploring how to express emotions casually in American English. Native speakers often use informal expressions to describe how they feel, especially in everyday conversations. Instead of saying, "I am very tired," they might say, "I'm beat," meaning, "I'm extremely tired." Instead of "I am excited," they might say,
I'm stoked.
meaning, "I'm really excited or looking forward to something." And instead of "I am stressed out," they might say, "I'm freaking out," meaning, "I'm very nervous or overwhelmed." Let's try a few examples in full sentences. I stayed up late last night. I'm beat today. I got the job offer.
I'm stoked.
I forgot my presentation was due today. I'm freaking out. These kinds of phrases help you sound more like a native speaker and make your speech more colorful and expressive. Try using them in your own sentences. For example, I pulled an all-nighter. I'm beat. We're going to that concert next week. I'm stoked. There's so much to do before the meeting. I'm freaking out. Next, we'll look at how to agree and disagree naturally in everyday English. In real-life English, people rarely say, "I agree" or "I disagree" directly. Instead, they use short, conversational phrases that keep the flow smooth and friendly. Here are some common ways to show agreement. Totally. Exactly. Same here. For sure. That's what I was thinking. And here are some polite ways to disagree. Not really. I don't think so. I see your point, but, not exactly. I guess I just don't agree with that. Let's put them into a quick conversation. I think the movie would have been better with a different ending. Totally. The original ending felt rushed. Another example. I don't think we should leave early. I guess I just don't agree. We have a long drive tomorrow. Try practicing these phrases in your own conversations. They'll help you respond more naturally and build stronger communication skills. In the next part, we'll explore how tone and intonation affect emotion in spoken English. When speaking English, your voice can show how you feel, even if your words don't say it directly. This is called intonation, and it plays a big role in sounding natural and expressive. Native speakers change their pitch to show surprise, uncertainty, or confidence. Let's look at a few examples.
A surprise.
Say "really" with a rising tone. This shows interest or surprise. Example: I got tickets to the concert. Really? Uncertainty. Say "maybe" with a falling or hesitant tone. This shows doubt or hesitation. Example: Are you coming tonight? Maybe. Confidence. Say "definitely" with a strong, clear tone. This shows certainty and agreement. Example: That was the best pizza I've ever had. Definitely. Try saying these phrases out loud, matching the correct tone for each emotion. Pay attention to how your voice rises and falls depending on what you're trying to express. Practicing emotional intonation will help you sound more fluent and give your spoken English more life. Next, we'll take a closer look at another common feature of spoken English: speech fillers. Speech fillers like, and I mean are very common in everyday English. Native speakers use them often, not because they're unsure, but because they help with flow and thinking time. The key is to use them sparingly so they don't distract from your message. Here's some examples. So, I was thinking, maybe we could go out later. I didn't expect that at all, you know? I mean, I wasn't really surprised. These fillers help connect thoughts and make your speech sound more conversational. Let's try a full sentence using a filler naturally. I was like, wait, are you serious? You mean, he just quit his job out of nowhere. Now try making up your own sentences using or I mean in a natural way. Overusing fillers can make your speech seem less confident, so aim to use them only when needed, especially when speaking in formal or professional settings. In the next part, we'll explore phrasal verbs, those common two-word expressions that native speakers use every day. Phrasal verbs are two-word expressions made up of a verb and a preposition or adverb. They're very common in spoken English and give your speech a natural, native feel. Here are some of the most useful ones. Pick up, to collect or get something. Example, I need to pick up my dry cleaning after work. Run into, to meet someone unexpectedly. Example, I ran into an old friend at the grocery store. Hang out, to spend time relaxing with friends. Example, do you want to hang out later? Catch up, to talk about what's been happening in your life. Example, let's grab coffee and catch up. Meet up, to go somewhere to see someone. Example, we're going to meet up downtown around 6. Let's put them into a short story. I was supposed to hang out with my friend yesterday, but I had to cancel. We decided to meet up today instead. On the way, I ran into my neighbor and stopped to chat. After that, I picked up some snacks and we caught up over coffee. Try reading that out loud and practice using these phrasal verbs in your own stories. Using phrasal verbs will help your English sound more casual and fluent, just like how real people speak every day. Next, we'll look at how to use polite and soft language in everyday situations. In American English, sounding polite often means using soft language, especially when making requests or giving opinions. Instead of saying something directly like, give me that, native speakers usually say, could I borrow that for a second?
Or,
would it be okay if I use this? These small changes make your speech sound more respectful and friendly. Here's a short example from a coffee shop. Customer, hi, would it be okay if I try to sample first? Barista, of course, no problem at all. Customer, thanks so much. Some other helpful phrases. Could I possibly? Would you mind if I? Is there any chance I could? Try practicing these in different situations, whether you're asking for help, borrowing something, or sharing an opinion. Being polite doesn't mean being overly formal. It's about showing kindness through your words. In the next part, we'll explore sentence stress and rhythm and how they affect clarity in spoken English. When native speakers talk, they don't say every word with the same strength. Instead, They emphasize certain words to make speech sound more natural and easier to understand. This is called sentence stress, and it usually falls on nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and question words. Let's look at an example. Sentence. I need a new shirt for the party. Now, if we add stress to the important words, it sounds like this. With stress. I need a new shirt for the party. The other words, like a, for, and the, are said more quickly and with less emphasis. Try reading that sentence out loud with the correct stress pattern. Then try these. She bought a red dress for work. I'm meeting my friend at the café. We're going to the beach this weekend. In each case, the nouns and main verbs carry the most weight. Practicing sentence stress will help you speak more clearly and sound more like a native speaker. Next, we'll explore modern slang and cultural references so you can understand what people are really saying in everyday conversations. If you've ever watched an American movie or talked to a native speaker and felt lost, it might be because of slang and cultural references. These expressions aren't always taught in textbooks, but they appear constantly in real-life English. Here are a few current examples. Fire, something excellent or amazing. Example, that outfit looks fire. A lit, used to describe something exciting or fun. Example, that party was lit. Chill, means relaxing or being easygoing. Example, let's just stay in and chill tonight. Dead, not literally dead, used when something is extremely funny. Example, his joke had me dead. Flex, to show off something proudly. Example, he loves to flex his new car. Let's put them into a short conversation. Did you go to the party last night? Yeah, it was lit. Everyone was dressed so fire. No way. Did he actually flex his new watch again? Of course. Classic him. Understanding modern slang helps you connect better with native speakers and feel more confident in casual settings. Try using these phrases in your own conversations. Just remember, slang changes over time, so always pay attention to how people around you are speaking. In the next part, we'll take a closer look at chunking, a powerful technique that helps you speak faster and more naturally. When native speakers talk, they don't say each word separately like in a dictionary. Instead, they group words together into meaningful chunks, almost like mini-sentences. This technique is called chunking, and it helps you speak more smoothly and understand spoken English more easily. Let's look at an example. Full sentence. I'm thinking of going out later. Wanna join? Instead of saying each word slowly, native speakers will often group them like this. I'm thinking of going out later. Wanna join? Each of those is a complete thought, or a chunk. Here's another example. Full sentence. I was walking home when I ran into my friend. Chunked version. I was walking home when I ran into my friend. Try reading both versions out loud. Notice how the second one feels more natural and easier to follow. Now, let's try one together. Repeat after me. I'm thinking of going out later. We should meet up sometime soon. That depends on how busy I am. The more you practice speaking in chunks instead of word by word, the more fluent and confident your spoken English will become. Next, we'll move on to longer monologues, perfect for building storytelling skills and speaking with rhythm and expression. Now that we've covered short phrases and sentence structure, let's put everything together with longer monologues. This is a great way to practice intonation, contractions, rhythm, and natural phrasing all at once. Here's a sample monologue about a weekend trip. I went hiking with some friends last weekend. We left early Saturday morning and drove up to the mountains. The weather was perfect, not too hot, not too cold. We hiked for about 3 hours and stopped for lunch near a lake. It was peaceful and beautiful. On the way back, we stopped at a little café and grabbed some coffee. All in all, it was a great day. Try reading that out loud with emotion and natural pauses. Focus on using contractions and keeping a smooth rhythm. Now here's another one. This time about a crazy workday. This morning was insane. I got to the office and realized I forgot to prepare for a big meeting. I had to pull something together in 10 minutes. Somehow, it went okay. Everyone seemed satisfied. But man, I was stressed the whole time. Read this one out loud as well. Try changing your tone to match what happened. Surprise, stress, relief. Monologue practice helps you build confidence in speaking longer sentences naturally. The more you do it, the smoother and more expressive your English will sound. In the next part, we'll compare formal versus casual English and how to switch between the two depending on the situation. In real-life conversations, native speakers often switch between formal and informal language depending on the situation. Let's take a look at some common side-by-side comparisons so you can see how the same idea is expressed in both styles. Formal. I do not know what time the meeting starts. Casual. I don't know what time the meeting starts. Formal. I've got to go now. Casual. I've got to go now. Formal. Could you please repeat that? Casual. Can you say that again? Formal. I am not going to be able to attend the event. Casual. I can't make it to the event. The main differences usually include use of contractions, I'm, don't, can't. Reduced forms, gonna, wanna, kinda. Shorter responses, yeah, sure thing, no problem. Here's a short example conversation using both styles. Formal version. Good afternoon. I was wondering if you would like to join us for dinner this evening. That sounds lovely. Thank you for the invitation. Casual version. Hey, wanna grab dinner later? Sure thing. Understanding these differences will help you choose the right tone depending on whether you're in a job interview, talking with friends, or giving a presentation. Next, we'll wrap up our lesson with a full day timeline, spoken in natural, conversational English. Let's walk through a full day using the phrases and expressions we've covered throughout this course. This will help you put everything together into one smooth narrative, from morning to night. Here's an example. I woke up late today. My alarm didn't go off, and I panicked. I jumped out of bed, threw on some clothes, and grabbed my coffee to go. Got to work just in time. Lunch was quick. I just grabbed a sandwich and ate at my desk. The afternoon flew by, and before I knew it, it was time to head to the gym. After working out, I met up with a friend for dinner. We caught up and laughed about old times. Got home late, but it was a good day. Now try creating your own version, based on your real or ideal daily routine. Speak it out loud. Focus on rhythm, contractions, and natural phrasing. You can even record yourself and listen back to track your progress. The more you practice speaking in full sentences, even short ones, the more confident and fluent you'll become. In the final part of this lesson, we'll wrap up with some motivation and a reminder of the most important techniques to keep improving every day. You've made it to the end of this lesson. Great job! Let's take a moment to review what you've learned today. You now know how to sound more natural in American English by using casual speech patterns, contractions and reduced forms, connected speech and linking sounds, emotional intonation and rhythm, common expressions and storytelling techniques. But most importantly, you've practiced speaking like a native speaker. Remember, fluency doesn't come from memorizing rules. It comes from listening, mimicking, and speaking regularly. So keep practicing these phrases out loud. Shadow native speakers. Record yourself. Speak with friends or language partners. And most of all, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every time you speak, you're improving. If you enjoyed this lesson, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. And whether you're learning for travel, work, school, or just for fun, keep showing up, keep practicing, and keep speaking naturally. Because every day is a chance to grow. Thank you for watching. And remember, progress happens one conversation at a time. See you in the next lesson.